GSR Cardiff, or welcome to Cardiff. We are here for the second stop on our EmpowHER project in partnership with Vodafone. We've had an awesome day with Cardiff Uni. I've been joined by two absolute legends of the game in Fionn Lewis and Gwen Crabb to do some coaching sessions. We've looked at all things rugby, we've had line-outs, we've had lots of kicking and just a brilliant day on pitch with the girls. And now I'm just about to go and meet my mentee Haywood and their partner Gina. But we're going to talk all things about that, all things Cardiff Uni, all things rugby, and also they've had a tough time because Gina has had cancer, but recently she's got the all clear. Let's go grab a coffee. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for having us down. For those that aren't aware, obviously, mentee in the EmpowHER programme. How is that going so far for you?
Yeah, good, I think.
You have to say that, by the way. You have to say that. But just as a little intro, first of all, a huge congratulations. Thanks. Heard that was an engagement at the weekend. I spotted it just now, by the way. That is a good ring.
Yeah. I keep saying thanks like it's anything to do with me.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks.
So obviously...
Yeah, it was me,
Got the question. Yeah. Amazing. How did you do it?
We went down to the beach. And you thought that we were meeting other people, and then
thought we were going for a walk.
You were like, "Oh, it's too cold. Should we go home? Should we do this?" And I was like,
"Please come.
Please stay."
Amazing. Well, just as a little intro, just from the GSR team, we just wanted to give you a little gift to say congratulations. So you don't have to sit there with them the whole time, but we just wanted to give you a little something.
That's really cute. Thank you.
Amazing. Did you cry?
You did, yeah. I must have been down there for like, I felt like half an hour.
Really?
And I was like, "You gonna say something?" Like, you couldn't speak.
Yeah, it was just hysterical. Yeah, waterproof mascara was not waterproof. It was like all over my face. And then my best friend's a photographer, and she was in the bushes, and Emma had organised for her to like be in the bush and stand in the bushes.
We'll move on quickly.
So we got some really nice pictures, didn't we?
Yeah,
really like it. It was really, really nice.
Yeah.
I'll just probably stand there, not in the wet.
So back to the good stuff. Yeah. That is probably the best stuff that we're not going to cover again. But tell us a little bit about yourselves and give us a bit of background about your journey, your Cardiff Uni, what you're studying, how long you've been here, all of that sort of stuff.
PhD student. I've been at Cardiff for, I think it's my 7th or 8th year. So I did my undergrad and my master's here. But I did football all the way through and then changed to rugby a couple of years ago after COVID. And then, I've done that ever since. But
sorry, that is a good stint, by the way, 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Just love the uni life.
I don't want a real job. I'm just like, let's carry on studying as much as possible. Yeah, and then you're doing a PhD as well.
Yeah, also doing a PhD.
Nice.
So I'm in my 8th year. So I was at Cardiff Met before this, for my first 2 degrees, did my undergrad and my...
I know, you keep that quiet.
I know. When this is rivalry, and I think, I actually quite like Met.
Yeah.
I can't really say too many bad things. But I didn't play rugby at Met. I was rowing at Cardiff Met, and then so I was there for my undergrad and my masters, came here for my PhD, and I'm nearly done. So I've got 4 months left to my PhD.
Wow. And then what do you graduate as?
A doctor of psychology. So,
amazing.
Yeah, psychology is like my main field, psychology and behavioural genetics. So, so I started in the club. This is my 4th year in the club, but I joined rugby when I started. When I started at Cardiff. So I'd never played rugby before.
What is it about rugby that's made you both change codes then? Because obviously football and rowing into rugby, pretty different.
Yeah, quite different. I think for me it was the atmosphere. So football, I feel like is quite. You have to be a certain type of person. You have to be a certain type of body type. You have to fit in, and my experience of it was quite cliquey and it wasn't like a fun place to be. And then I came to rugby, and it was like actually everyone celebrated for all their individual strengths. So like what your strength is might be someone else's weakness, but actually you play a different position on the pitch, and that's fine. That brings everyone up. So and then just like the girls in our team are just amazing. Like they're just the nicest people. We probably mess around more than we do train, but I think that makes it I think especially coming in from a season where we've just won everything and done really well to it's been a real struggle. That's what keeps you going, is the team around you, not
100%.
When you're not winning and you're not necessarily getting where you want to, actually sticking together and being that team really helps. So.
From an outsider, obviously we had that session earlier this morning, but from an outsider you can kind of see how much you all love each other. Like it's just good vibes, like everyone's around their phone laughing and stuff. It was really cool to see. How was that for you though?
Yeah, it was fun. Oh, it was daunting, wasn't it? Like, no, it's fine, but then you've got like 10 people watching you. So you're like, shit. I'm like, I better get this person up, otherwise it's on camera. No, it was really, really good. I think we, especially going into like from last year forwards, we haven't necessarily had like a specific forwards coach or a specific backs coach. So having someone that like really knows what they're doing, and actually having a woman to come and teach us who has played women's rugby is really, really valuable. And it was just, we learned so much. It was, everyone was like chatting so much afterwards and was like, this is amazing, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Like, it was really, really helpful.
I loved her like mannerism with it as well. I was just sat back watching, being like in awe of Gwen when she was coaching.
I know, she was so class, So
you touched on it slightly earlier, but you've come from winning pretty much every game. Last year, were you undefeated?
Undefeated, we won the cup, we won varsity, won the league, everything.
And then stepping into the WNL.
We were like, I can't swear, but
how has that been? Like, how has that been?
Becoming into the WNL and like developing both as a team, but also the professionalism it gave the club. So it was that development of professionalism and development of, there's minimum operating guidelines that we have to work
by. Which are extensive.
Oh, man, I'm reading this document in bed thinking, oh my
like,
God,
for instance, like we haven't had a physio up until this year. We've had a first aider, so we haven't had any kind of like, but the amount of injuries we've had previously has been absolutely mad, and we've had no kind of like way to deal with that. Like having Ben come in as a physio, he's been absolutely incredible.
It's phenomenal.
Knowing that when you play, knowing that someone's got your back, that if you get hurt, that there's someone to help you, rather than going in thinking, oh, I don't know if I want to go in 100% because of X, Y, and Z.
I think it's brought an air of professionalism, an air of, this is quite serious, and it is a pathway for some girls. We don't have that direct pathway into the Prem, but playing in WNL is the best spotlight that you could give some of these athletes, and they are phenomenal individuals, but also phenomenal players that deserve, shouldn't have to be travelling to England, for example, to be playing for championship teams. They should be able to have a spotlight in the WNL and be able to watch when it's recorded and stuff. That's amazing. Oh
yeah, just having our games recorded. Like we didn't have any recordings of our games for the last however many years we've been in Bucks, and to be able to watch our games back is just incredible. Like, it seems such a small thing that like for other teams it's like really obvious, but it's just like incredible to be able to do that and actually have some analysis and like not just kind of think, oh, what do we need to do better? I can't really remember what happened in the game. Like, you can actually go back and watch it. So like things like that is amazing. And like I know it's been really far travelling, but it's been amazing to be able to be like, oh, we're going to Edinburgh for a rugby game. We'll go on the plane together. Like, that's just like an incredible experience.
You guys get to fly, do you?
We did fly,
We were on an 8-hour bus trip.
We did stay in a really dodgy hostel that was like, it's like a wooden box inside a church. It was like the most weird.
I did not.
No. That was our president who was in Dubai for Sevens, who thought, oh, I'll set these girls up in here while I'm on the beach.
And I got a call saying, no, this isn't all right. And I said, I'm sure it's fine. We've already paid it, so it'll have to be fine. And they said, no, girls, we're staying in pretty much cardboard boxes in the middle of an old church. No. And there's
mirrors on every part of the wall. Like, I'm not even joking. You turn around thinking I'm like
getting changed, and it was
mirrors everywhere. Like, it was the most rogue thing I've ever seen.
So I envy your bus.
To be fair, those moments though, they do bond you as a team.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mirrorgate, that'll live with you forever. It really will.
It's ingrained in my head.
You sent me on WhatsApp. I was thinking, what is going on?
So good. So as hard as it's been, like from a on-pitch playing perspective, it's actually bettered you guys so much.
Oh, massively. And I think, for instance, so like varsity is a massive thing in Cardiff. I don't think it's as big in other universities. That's our like, the league is really important, but varsity is also incredibly important. We have a training camp for it.
Camp? Where'd you go?
Here. But we do like,
so
we'll go to like,
we'll
go to like the sand dunes and stuff, and we'll like put on all different things.
But it's like training pretty much every day. It's multiple sessions a day, and it's all very structured. So we have a week off, so you can go home. It's around Easter time, so the girls get to go home and like celebrate Easter with their families if they want to. But then it's about a 4-week period, so it's very intense.
Very intense, it's really special because if you play, you get a cap. So everyone wants a cap, a varsity cap. which
special
is
t-shirts
and like we
stuff,
play.
and
So
it's
in
really
Cardiff, we play in Arms Park, which is just
Yeah.
amazing. And in Swansea, we play in the big stadium there. So like it's a really great thing to do. But it it's just such a big thing. Like everyone's like varsity bus.
So obviously
Yeah.
mentoring,
Yeah.
my mentee,
Yeah.
love it. We
Yeah.
have had a chat, by the way.
Yeah, we have
already,
it, yeah.
We've already caught up. We're going to lock another one in today.
Yeah.
But what is it about the mentoring program that you're like most looking forward to getting stuck into?
I think from a personal perspective, because I haven't had a background in the sport, it's great to be able to speak to someone who knows what they're talking about. I'm not that young. But yeah, and like I think actually having someone invested in you is really important. I think when you're in a big club like, you know, we've got 100+ girls, you don't get necessarily that one-on-one time or that someone really putting that into you and actually being able to like ask questions and kind of see what's going on. So I think that's something that's really important to me. And yeah, I think just, I don't know, often I can feel like I'm kind of a bit out of place and I'm not really quite sure where I fit in or like, and we've chatted about this already, like confidence to me is a massive thing. So yeah, that's definitely something that I want to get out of this and actually like having a bit of faith in myself and doing that. So.
What about your perspective? Obviously, seeing them go through it.
I think like, I'm going to gas you up now. I think like I know, as well as like players both in our club rugby team and also uni team, like we all know how much of a phenomenal player you are, but also how much of a difference you make when you're on the pitch, both as a person and as a player. And I don't, like, you know, we can come home from games, like there's been games where you've got like no word of a lie. There's been games where you've got player of the match or that you've scored tries or you've made, you know, phenomenal tackles, and you come back and we sit in the car and it's that sort of one-on-one. I'm not sure today went so well. And it's like, I wish you could see what we see. So I think it's like a confidence thing of like being able to develop your confidence. Like I do, like not very good confidence, like I do.
Do you know what I'm fascinated in all of that is how uncomfortable you were
It's
when
obvious.
Gina was speaking about you, like
Yeah.
in such a way. Like, how did that land with you? Because why is it so hard to take compliments?
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Why
really
is
hard,
it?
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think as a person, I don't ever want to seem full of myself, and I'd much rather big other people up, I think, than me. And I think for me, especially in the team, like I see my role a lot as like making sure that everyone else is okay, making sure that everyone else is confident, and like, yeah, building them up. So I don't know, people look at me and think, oh, you're building us up, so you must be fine. But I'm like inside, like I don't know what I'm doing. But, yeah, no.
Speaking of building people up, we're going to go
No.
slight tone change now. So you actually haven't played rugby in a while.
A long time.
Talk to us about that. So obviously there was a diagnosis that came in.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of the dates now. So it'll be in about 5 days. It'll be the year anniversary, I think it'll be. So I went for my first ever smear test, like just about to turn 25, got the letter, went, didn't think anything of it. Long story short, had some abnormal cells, and like I think because I genuinely wasn't even worried. I remember going to the hospital and it's like, it'll be a minor procedure, take 10 minutes, didn't think anything of it. It wasn't, it was about 40 minutes. And at that time they said, oh, we couldn't do the procedure because you've already got cancer. And it was quite literally, you have cancer, see you in 2 weeks. So it was a bit like a film, like it sounds very dramatic, but we like went to the toilet and I was like, oh, I need a wee, and then like it suddenly hit me, like genuinely, like I just collapsed on the floor, and people were like, hit the deck, and then I was sat on the floor crying and was like, I really need a wee. I know it's really bad timing, so everyone's going for a wee. I was on the floor crying, and this student doctor walked in, and she must have thought, what is going on? She kind of looked at us both a bit sympathetically, like, okay. And then for 2 weeks I didn't know anything, didn't know like what stage it was, what type of cancer. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't have any book. I didn't have a
But we couldn't like tell anyone because we didn't want to tell anyone, and then without knowing like
the details.
all the details going on.
I think I told our two best friends, who were the president and the first team captain at the time last year, who are our two best friends, and then my friend who's a nurse, well, she's about to qualify as a nurse, and my mum, and that was it. So I didn't tell anyone for 2 weeks. So that was the Tuesday at about 3 p.m. and like I had a biopsy at the time, so it was like quite an intense procedure, and we had our cup semi-final on the Wednesday at 1 p.m. and I was named on the starting team sheet, and I thought, well, I can't let the girls down. So
you're not meant to train and exercise after that procedure?
For at least 10 days. So I without going into lots of detail, I was like excessively bleeding, like to the point that it was like it was horrendous, and I wore lots of different layers and basically just said, and I hadn't told my coach, I told absolutely no one, so I played the game, supposed to play 60 minutes, but one of our girls like wasn't feeling well, so I think I played pretty much the full 80.
How was that for you watching on? So obviously you know
Yeah,
everything.
horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really horrible. I mean, I think I'm not a very outwardly emotional person, so I think I was able to keep it quite like to myself. But yeah, I mean, even now, because you're about to return to play, the thought of you being on a rugby pitch, like your womb is where you get hit. To put it bluntly, is where you get hit when you play rugby. So yeah, I don't like the thought of it, I'll be honest. But yeah, it's just really hard. And like eventually, like when everyone found out and stuff, like we had a massive support from all the girls. People dropping meals, people were giving us lifts. Like you had surgery, and then you had to have chemo and radiotherapy over the summer. So we were in hospital every day for 6 to 8 weeks. You had a sepsis scare, so we had to go back into hospital, and then you had a post-complication, nearly died and had to have another surgery.
October.
Which was right before our Cardiff Clash game, so I was like in my kit, basically ready to go to the game to play, and I was like, I need to take you to hospital. So obviously rugby's not the most important, I missed the game, but like it's hard because you worked so hard to get to that point, and then obviously life is more important than rugby. But like
we say that, but I was just saying, wasn't I just saying a minute ago to Sarah, like I obviously played that semi-final game, didn't I? And then we played our club rugby. We made it to playing the Principality, so road to Principality, the final. So for our bowl, yeah, it's a bowl. And so we worked really hard, and we'd like travelled up to North Wales and all this kind of sort of stuff. So we eventually got to the final, and so I said to the surgeon, I said, my surgery absolutely cannot be before the 14th of April. I said, and we were going to have to postpone it. I'm so sorry. And he looked at me like I was honestly sleepwalking and saying this. He was like, you do understand that? I said, no, I understand the seriousness, but I must play in the Principality.
So you did delay
So I
it?
delayed my surgery. I think so I played that game, and then I think I played the game on the Sunday, and then I had 2 days, and then I had my surgery. So yeah, it was just big conversations, wasn't it? Like, do I freeze my eggs, which I decided not to because it would have prolonged my treatment. And then we found out my tumour was too big to freeze my eggs anyway, so even if I wanted to, I couldn't. But it was huge, like really big conversations, and like, you know, like having a hysterectomy is a massive thing. Like it took me a very long time to recover. I was really ill. So yeah, there was exactly 2 months between the day I found out I had cancer and my hysterectomy. Had a hysterectomy, it's a really big surgery. I was in the hospital for about a week. But like you, like throughout this, like it's not an exaggeration to say that you've literally been my like primary carer. Like, you know, my family are 3 hours away. You've been my primary carer throughout that. So then obviously recovered from my surgery, and then we thought that'd be it. Like naively thought that'd be it. And then went to a meeting, was it in June maybe? So I had my surgery April 20th, went to a meeting in, should I say early June maybe. And they were like, yeah, no, you're not done. You have to have chemo and radio. So then I had 6 weeks of chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So radiotherapy I was in every day, and then brachytherapy, so internal radiotherapy, for the last week of my treatment. So that finished start of August. But it takes a lot, like it was a lot to recover from that. Like it was a lot, like you got no immune system, then I thought I had sepsis, then to go back in. There were so many things that happened, but it was like, yeah, kind of all happened at once, didn't it? So yeah, I think for the last 2 weeks of August, I was like well enough that I could start leaving the house and see family. And I think for 2 weeks, we literally did not stay in the house at all. I think we went to London.
Like all the girls got as a like spa stay. So like the whole club would like put money together and like organise for us to go somewhere, and like it was like they have been absolutely incredible. I don't think we would have got through it like without the rugby club. Like
they'd be
in any way, like both our uni club and our club. Yeah,
you
like,
can call it club.
Club. Everyone calls it club, so that's a bit Welsh for you.
Yeah,
club.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Deal.
Nice, smooth. Yeah, we wouldn't have got through it without. And actually, I think although it was hard playing and training and stuff, knowing that this is going in the background, having that space to go to where I can just play rugby and I don't have to talk about cancer. I don't have to like think about all these appointments or like X, Y, and Z. Like it was just a real nice like release, really, to be able to just go and get outside and exercise and see some.
Do you know what? There's a few things that stick out for me. Firstly, the fact that you've got that good a support network around you that you decided to stay here and do all of that here and not go home to 3 hours away. Unbelievable. Second thing, you've done a PhD alongside all of this. Unbelievable. And thirdly, the way you talk about each other and how you have like you wanted to big up Em and while you're trying to do your thing, I just think it's amazing. So like hats off. No, sorry. Don't mean to make you cry. I also just want to say like thank you so much for sharing it, because like smear tests are so important, and I think again 100%. Another taboo subject that people don't really talk about, like the periods and stuff like that, but actually catching it early is massive. So like I actually have gone through that procedure, but lucky for me was before that, like it had got to the level that you have, but people don't know it and you don't talk about it, and to play rugby after that while you've got that in your head as well is just insane. When are you going back to rugby?
So I'm doing my return to play at the moment. I'm starting my return to contact this week.
Are you?
So,
so watch this
I might
space.
make one game at the end of the season. Wild. So yeah, hopefully Principality again if we get there, and then hopefully maybe a uni game if I get there. So yeah, but yeah, we've been in the rehab club for a long time.
That's awesome. I bet the girls can't wait to see your return.
It's really, really exciting. They're really excited, and like everyone's just buzzing, and yeah, it'll be really, really nice. It'll be a really big moment. I think both you and me will cry a lot.
Yeah, especially if you're on pitch together. Just from us guys at GSR, from everyone in Vodafone, we just want to say like thank you so much for being here, for sharing your story, for being so genuine and open. I think it's massively important. And also just how great you are. Congrats on the engagement. Love that. I can see why you're engaged. Lovely humans together. But no, thank you so much, and we'll definitely catch up soon.
Cool. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Oh,
me and you too.
big love.
Thanks for having us.